Your child is going to grow up in a world where AI can write a legal brief, diagnose a medical condition, code an entire app, and pass the bar exam. And right now, while that's happening, your child's school is preparing them for a test on Thursday. I want you to sit with that for a second. I'm Mr. Harris. I spent 12 years inside the education system, as a teacher, then as an administrator. And I can tell you exactly what the system is optimizing your child for. It's not for the world that's coming. It's for the world that already left. If that scares you, stay with me, because what I'm about to show you isn't doom. It's a map. And once you have it, you'll know exactly what to build in your child that no machine will ever touch. Here's the number that should be on the front page of every school newsletter in America. 97%. That's the share of parents who told researchers they believe AI will disrupt or completely replace their child's career within the next decade. 97%. That's not a fringe fear. That's almost every parent in the country quietly terrified at the kitchen table. And here's what makes it worse. 1 in 3 of those same parents said they don't believe their child's school is doing anything about it. They're right. I want to be precise about what I mean when I say the system isn't built for this. It's not that teachers are failing your child. Most of the teachers I worked alongside were dedicated, hardworking people doing everything the system asked of them. The problem is what the system is asking. It was designed in the industrial era to produce reliable, compliant workers who could follow procedures, retain information, and perform tasks on a schedule. That was a legitimate goal for that world. The factory needed people. The office needed clerks. The assembly line needed consistency. But AI is now the most consistent thing on Earth. It doesn't have bad days. It doesn't forget. It doesn't need training. And it's getting better every 6 months in ways that are not linear. The gap between what AI can do today and what it could do 3 years ago is staggering. The gap 3 years from now will be staggering again. So what does your child actually need? MIT ran a study using a framework they called epoch: empathy, presence, opinion, creativity, and hope. These are the capabilities they identified as most resistant to AI replacement. Not because machines aren't trying, but because these aren't skills built from data. They're built from being human, from making mistakes in front of other people, from caring about outcomes you can't control, from being in a body in a room with other bodies, reading what no algorithm can read. The school system teaches almost none of them on purpose. Here are the 5. Skill number 1, empathy. Not empathy as a soft concept, empathy as a competitive advantage. AI can recognize emotional cues. It can analyze tone. It can tell you someone is upset. What it cannot do is feel the weight of another person's situation and respond to it in a way that changes what they do next. That's a human thing, and it's becoming rarer. Here's what the research shows. Jobs that require high levels of empathetic interaction, counseling, healthcare, leadership, teaching, negotiation, are among the least exposed to AI displacement. The World Economic Forum flagged emotional intelligence as one of the top skills employers will pay for through 2030. Not because companies suddenly became kind, because empathy drives outcomes, it closes deals, it retains employees, it builds the kind of trust that makes clients stay. I watched this play out in real time inside schools. The teachers who could walk into a classroom full of distracted, anxious teenagers and within 10 minutes have every one of them genuinely engaged. They weren't doing anything technically sophisticated. They were reading the room. They were adjusting in real time. They knew which kid needed to be called on and which one needed to be left alone today. That's not a curriculum. That's a skill built over thousands of hours of human interaction. AI cannot acquire it because AI has never been 14 and terrified of what the person next to it thinks. Now ask yourself, when did your child's school last grade them on their ability to listen to someone who disagreed with them and respond thoughtfully? When did it measure their capacity to read a room, support a teammate, or navigate a conflict without escalating it? The answer is almost certainly never, because empathy doesn't show up on a standardized test. So the system ignores it, and your child graduates without ever being trained in the one skill that will matter most in a workplace run by machines. What you can do: Put your child in situations that require real human connection with real stakes, team sports, community service, jobs that involve serving people face to face, not for the resume, for the development. Skill number 2, critical thinking under uncertainty. This is different from the critical thinking schools claim to teach. School critical thinking chukta usually means, here's a problem with a correct answer, find it. AI is extraordinarily good at that. Give it a problem with a known solution space, and it will outperform almost any human alive. Real critical thinking means, here's a situation where the data is incomplete, the stakes are real, and no algorithm can tell you what to do. Make a call. Own it. Adapt when it's wrong. Harvard Business School researchers put it plainly. AI can generate probabilities. Only humans can decide what's worth the risk. Think about what that actually means in practice. A doctor looks at a patient whose symptoms don't match any clean diagnosis. The data points in 3 directions. Each treatment path has trade-offs. The patient is scared. The family is watching. There is no algorithm that can navigate that moment. Not because the algorithm lacks information, but because the decision requires judgment about what kind of risk is acceptable for this specific human life. That judgment is irreducibly human. Schools don't teach this because it's uncomfortable. You can't grade it cleanly. It requires letting students be wrong in ways that matter, and then working through what that means. That's not something a curriculum committee can standardize. But here's what the numbers say. The jobs that are growing fastest in the AI economy, product leadership, clinical decision-making, crisis management, entrepreneurship, they all share one trait. They require judgment in ambiguity. Machines have the data. Humans have to decide what the data means for a specific person in a specific moment, with consequences that can't be undone. That's number 2. And number 3 is the one that surprises most parents. Skill number 3, physical creativity. Making things with your hands. I know that sounds almost quaint, but hear me out. AI can generate text, images, music, and video at scale. What it cannot do is build something physical, taste it, feel whether it's right, adjust it based on intuition, and hand it to another human who then experiences it in a body. The trades are experiencing a crisis right now. Not because they aren't valued, but because an entire generation was told that working with your hands was beneath them. The average age of a licensed electrician in the United States is now 55. Plumbers, carpenters, welders, the same story across the board. And AI cannot fix a pipe. It cannot install a roof. It cannot wire a building or weld a frame. The demand for skilled tradespeople is going up while the supply is going down, and no language model is going to close that gap. But it goes beyond the trades. Physical creativity, cooking, building, designing spaces, crafting objects, develops something in a child's brain that screen-based learning does not. It builds spatial reasoning. It builds patience. It builds the ability to iterate on something real, not virtual. When a child builds something with their hands and it doesn't work, they don't get to press undo. They have to figure out why. That process, that specific frustration followed by problem solving, followed by a physical result, is one of the most powerful developmental experiences a young person can have. And the school system systematically eliminated it. The school system cut shop class, cut home economics, cut art, cut music, because those things don't show up in test scores. And in doing so, it removed the very activities that build the skills AI cannot replicate. Skill number 4, communication. Real persuasion, not presentation. There is a version of communication schools do teach. It's called the 5-paragraph essay and the class presentation. Stand up, cover your points. Sit down. AI can do both of those perfectly well, by the way. Real communication is different. It's the ability to walk into a room where people disagree with you, understand what they actually care about, not what they say they care about, and find the words that move them. Not manipulate them. Move them. This is the skill of great negotiators, great leaders, great doctors who get patients to actually change their behavior. It requires empathy. It requires reading the room. It requires knowing when to stop talking. None of these things are on a rubric. The research from Workday found that 83% of employees believe AI will make uniquely human communication skills more critical, not less. Because as AI handles more of the transactional communication, the premium on authentic human persuasion goes up. The person who can walk into a room of skeptics and bring them along, that person becomes more valuable, not less. What you can do right now, have your child practice disagreeing with you out loud, respectfully, with a reason, not to win, to learn what it feels like to hold a position under pressure and find the words for it. That discomfort is the training. Most parents avoid it. The parents who lean into it are building something the school never will. Skill number 5, adaptability. The ability to be wrong and keep going. This is the one the school system punishes most systematically. Think about what a grade does. It evaluates a fixed performance at a fixed moment in time. Get it wrong, you lose points. Get it right, you advance. The entire architecture of school teaches children that being wrong is a failure event, something to minimize, hide, or recover from as fast as possible. That is the opposite of what the real world rewards. Every successful person I know in business, in medicine, in law, in any field, has one thing in common. They failed. Repeatedly, and they built the muscle to process that failure. Extract the lesson, and try again differently. That's not resilience as a bumper sticker. That's a cognitive skill that has to be developed through actual experience of falling short. AI doesn't have this problem. AI doesn't get embarrassed. It doesn't catastrophize. It doesn't quit. Which means in the race to be useful in an AI world, the humans who win will be the ones who can fail faster, learn faster, and adapt faster than the humans still trying to avoid being wrong. I watch children who are straight A students completely fall apart the first time a real-world situation didn't have a right answer. And I watched children who had struggled in school, who had been told by the system repeatedly that they weren't measuring up, thrive the moment the rules changed, because they already knew what it felt like to be wrong and survive it. They had practice. The school system gave it to them by accident, by failing them. The irony is brutal. The school system is not building adaptability, it's actively working against it. Here's what I want you to take from this. Your child's school will teach them to follow instructions, retain information, and perform on demand. Those are useful skills, but they are also the exact skills AI has already automated. The 5 things no machine will replace: empathy, critical judgment, physical creativity, real communication, and adaptability. Those have to be built deliberately. Outside the classroom, in real situations, with real stakes and real people. You are the one who can do that. Not because the school won't, because the school doesn't know how. The system was never designed for this. You have to be. If this video showed you something your child's school never will, subscribe. Every week, one more thing the system hopes you don't know. And I want to ask you something. Which of these 5 skills do you think your child is strongest in right now? And which one are you most worried about? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one.